already mentioned it, as well as Debbie highlighted it quite well regarding the EXP thing. You yourself like playing the EXP heroes, so if you are still active onto the game, you are quite familiar with the fact that the EXPs can be one of the things that are going quite noticeable as well. It is the Yuzhong as well as the Lapu Lapu, followed by one of the, in my opinion, one of the most broken EXPs that got a significant buff is going to be that Uranus. So if he is
Oh,
not banned out, he can actually be a go-to pick for the EXP lane.
Forgot Arlot as well. Arlot is
Oh yeah,
something
oh,
right
a
now.
lot. Yeah.
I
yep.
mean, he is in the meta as well, and he's doing fabulous things. But quite pretty nerf bans I've been seeing from both these sides. A Fanny for the Daaku Sena is kind of respect from Johan, but Lucas as well. I mean,
Oh.
I know you are going for the respect bans for both these sides, but these two heroes are nerf right now. They can be easily countered with the
Mm.
Yuzong, as you mentioned, Uranus as well. So a lot of EXP fighter heroes are there, and surprisingly, yesterday I saw at Mythic Showdown there were two EXP, one in the lane, one in the EXP lane, and they managed to win the match as well against LCF. It was Maf Esports. They went for a Paquito goal lane and Badang EXP, and that was fabulous from the side of Maf. So we're gonna see that sandwich meta as well from both the sides. EXP will be there,
Yeah.
but Presence will be taken out from Daaku Sena. I mean, uh, people are not yet comfort with the new meta. I think so because they may be
Oh.
thinking that meta could be changed before the MSC. Maybe assassins come back again, so maybe that's the reason people are not getting adapted to it, and see those pretty same bans going on.
Mm.
I kind of agree with you.
It's
Yeah, there we go ahead.
I think it has to be respect band, right, for Daaku Sena though. Because like as already mentioned, I think Lucas is such a counterable hero now, especially by the Valentina. Because the energy that he have, it's just too hard to regenerate for the beast form. But for Valentina, you can just, get it instantly, right? So maybe it's just a respect band, I don't know, but it's very easy to counter. Maybe Dakusena do not want to play against these heroes so far, and even onto the right side though, you usually ban the Lucas, but like you already mentioned, the buff into the XP laner is gonna be changing up the metas, but I haven't seen the XP laners that's popular being banned away here.
I agree with you. And Zohan, they decided to go out with a fanny ban. That probably is a respect, like you said. And the Lucas,
Mm.
yeah, he has like received a significant nerf. So it will be giving out the recognition to other heroes. Other heroes will be getting the chance to shine, and Zohan will be having the first pick priority. As TG said before, that onto the goal lane, fighters are buffed. So one of the fighters that has been quite a priority onto the goal lane is the Roger. He can become
Yeah.
transforming into a marksman as well
Yeah.
as the full form will be coming up. So if he is able to keep up with the goal lead and the itemizations are quite right on time, then he can play a significant role. And Lapu Lapu, the EXP priority we are already seeing here from the side of Team Zohan.
Yup, Lapu Lapu being picked up from Zohunt right now, and maybe we're gonna see a Uranus from
Oh.
Dakusina at this point. It's open as well, but they prior to the bans of Dakusena, you can see Bakshia and Lucas being in the ban list, as Debbie mentioned, and I also told that it's counterable. Bakshia as well, but it's kind of they are fearing Dusty Mizo. We all know he's a fighter jungler player, so he can go for these things. And right now, you don't have any mage to counter this fighter jungler. Jukshin not in the meta, Cecilia not walking well. Xavier is kind of you can say 50-50 going on, so it's like we all know the mid lane is kind of nerf. EXP is buff right now, and jungle is kind of 50-50 going on. With the assassin, it's not going great, but with the fighter, it's kind of working well. So maybe that's the reason they banned those tanky heroes. And as we see the Lapu Lapu here, maybe we're gonna see Uranus or Phobius will be entering into the scene. But no, it will be a Harith. I was expecting a Phobius Harith combo, but
Mm.
Harith and Bathilda will be there. That means utility coming out soon from Dakusena. So maybe we're gonna see Phobius Harith combo and Harith Phobius combo. So maybe that's the reason they banned those tanky heroes.
the options.
They can maybe go out with the mage. Like Faden likes picking out the Valentina, but okay,
Ooh,
they did go
Ooh,
for a mage, but that won't be
nice.
a Valentina. But they go out with the Farsa as well as
Mm,
a Roger. So Roger being a flex pick, it is yet to be decided whether he will be going onto the goal lane or onto the jungle. But jungle is also quite possible because that is Dusty Mizo.
yeah.
He likes picking out the fighter junglers.
oh my goodness. We're
Mm,
gonna see a
true.
Hayabusa from Daaku Sena. That's something I was not expecting at this point because
Oh,
it's a nerf hero, and I'm not sure it's gonna work well or not. But Tami, what do you think, Khalid? Being in the buff list
okay.
is a big counter of Matilda. So, what do you think? Could have been picked right now for the roam. It could have been a good choice. I mean, it can have the possibility to counter the Matilda as well as it can give the, I mean, rotation towards each and every lane. He got the mobility. Before that, Yuzong, Uranus, big threats will be in the ban list.
Yeah, as you said, yeah, Khalid can actually be a priority, but I haven't seen much Khalid onto the tournaments.
Uh,
I guess I haven't been that active, or maybe not, but
No,
I
no, no.
haven't. Yeah,
You're totally right about it. That's the question I'm asking. I mean, people are
mm,
not opting the Khalid, even though he's in the
yeah,
buff list, even though we have been seeing MPL Indonesia and Europe tournaments that
yeah.
Khalid is being picked up, but not in the Indian scenario right now. There was a time,
Mm,
if Debbie remembers, Khalid was the go-to through hero in a in a tournament match,
yeah.
but nowadays it has been forgotten, just like the Kaza. But mentioning the Kaza, Kyrie went for the jungle.
the I mean, it was funny to see the Kaza into the into the user of an assassin. But yep, look at the bands coming through for the side of Zohunt though. You guys were right because look at that. We already picked up the Lapu Lapu, so it has to be something like a Uranus into the XP and
Okay.
the Black Dragon as well.
Yeah.
But back to the M6. Wait. M3 meta. Was it M3? I forgot.
Empty, empty,
The
obviously,
Rosa into the
2021.
yeah. Wait.
Yeah, M3.
It's
It was M3.
2021. We are repeating it, and it's like the EXP will be there in the goal. As Itami mentioned, that Roger is the priority list at the goal lane, being a fighter. I maybe for at that moment, I also forgot about the Ruby and Masha. Those two were also effective in the goal lane as well.
Mm,
But apparently, it is a Ruby Gold Lane. We did see the Ruby Gold Lane last year. It was like
yeah.
it was the Ruby as well as the Mencitar was also going onto the Gold Lane. So Ruby has
Mm-hmm.
also got the significant buffs. Her lane
Mm-hmm.
clearing is really fast, and the I'm offended plays can be coming up with a clutch. So for the clutch plays as well as the sustainability and the lifesteal, Ruby can do that work. If the zoning is right, Dusty Mizo can just dive in and go out for the kills. But Dakusena, they have decided to go out with the Kadita. They are prioritizing those heroes which has received the major adjustments, and Kadita is one of them.
Yeah.
I think I like a Kadita against a Farsa, but the problem is that he's gonna be needing a lot of spacing, and Farsa does have a lot of ways to try to counter the Kadita as well, right? Because he might actually bring out the Purify too, so the Kadita is so good once you have the Petrify in the full combination, and with the change up in her skill set as well, the faster force rings, the faster speeds, it's gonna be a little bit harder to counter, but the Purify does the job, so she has to be very very mindful of what she does. But then again, here comes the problem for from the Hayabusa again. So this Versa is gonna be needing all the protection. But then the thing is, into the goal lane, it's the Ruby, right? He's gonna be having a lot of card control, and maybe even if he does go for the damage too, it's like basically three frontliners for the side of Zohan. But then again, Dakusena does have a lot of damages.
Yeah, and we are heading on to the land of Dawn. It will be Team Zohan going up against Daku Sena onto this best of three series. So, casters, take it away.
Thank you for the throw, Tommy, and we'll be seeing you soon after the match ends. But right now, as Debbie mentioned about the Forza, I feel pity for Forza and Harith. Both of them are right now being in the target list. Harith from the side of Dakusena, Forza from the side of Team Zohunt, because Glue is also there. I mean, all those
Yeah,
backline
yeah.
captains are being there at Daaku Sena right now, and Ruby will be fighting on to the Harith. And
Ooh.
look at the fight already on. It's aggression coming out from the side of Daaku Sena from the beginning, and but it will not be a battle for the side of Zohunt yet.
Yep, and after a bit of early game, I think the early game's like a 50-50 at this point, and if it was any other chances, if it was any other day, any other times, it could have been a absolute win for the Fursa. But this time around, it is like Kadita who's been buffed with the faster rotation as well. But look at Mizo Prime.
Oh my goodness, they are going on to the Harith, and
Ooh,
Ogi Shadow will
nice.
not be missing out this time. They will be helping the Harith to conclude the assist, as well as the first blood goes to Hayabusa.
That was a great rotation coming out from the side of Daaku Sena with the early game that they had. So this is definitely going to be a good start for them. But oh, the steam is all though. Oh, look at that.
Yeah, it will be not a good position for the Roger, and he'll be get down as well. But Debbie, as I mentioned about the server, looking after the second pick being onto Daaku Sena, I think it's a Mumbai server.
Mm,
So they're going with the assassin as well. So they got the server help as well. But in the meantime, the turtle has already
Oh.
started. Grab onto that. Oh my goodness.
Oh.
But these are funds all our way to that Forza. And we'll be checking the turtle away from Hayabusa as well. Stalking Eagle coming up. Airborne being done by the Kadita at this point. In a very bad position. Gatotkacha being trapped down by 3 members of Daaku Sena. Hayabusa will be the one getting his second kill right now into his hand. 4 for non. Turtle being on. Trade being on for the side of Daaku Sena.
And all the games are into their hands because 4 kills already under 2 minutes, and this is something you do not usually see against a Zohunt because they usually want to fight for the early game turtle, right? But this time around, Daaku Sena has just gained it without any contest coming in and even taking some of the kills too. So for Zohunt here, I think they have to be playing a little bit safer onto the safer side. Even if they have the first this time around, they do have a very great counter for the first 2 great counters. So they have to be very, very careful on how they are setting up, how they are going, because the position time and time again for this Kadita for Yamrat is so on point. And Faden, no, look at that.
Again going on, it's Sogi Shadow kill. Matilda will be claiming the kill. AOG coming up, but will not be much help for that Forza. As Davey mentioned before, as I told that I feel pity for the Forza, I feel pity for Hadith, but right now Hadith being in the safer zone because team got the early snowball. He got the early snowball, but this Forza is targeting again and again. Grab. No. It's the split on, and the grab being on at this point. It's a very bad kill. Flicker come up. He will be into the safer zone. Knocked out with the airborne.
Yeah, the early game is definitely not looking good for Zohan, and Daaku Sena are doing so good and just trying to punish whoever is overstaying, and a little bit of gang on to the XP side with the wasted flicker. I think this is gonna be good. Oh, look at the stun.
Oh my goodness, redemption was about to come. Federer stepping on 7 force and petrify. It will be Kadita busting out that Roger. And Hayabusa in the meantime will be claiming another kill onto the Forza. Forza big target again and again in this match. Maybe you can call her a feeder, but what can she do?
Oh my goodness, this is such a miscalculation coming out from Dusty Mizo as well, and I would say this is not the best thing you want to do when you are in a roster. You just do not want to die until the middle part of this game where you're going to be signing so much when you have those 3 item packs, and he is definitely going to be having the time right now because look at that, Yamraz being such a nuisance, always giving vision on where the Vaden or Dusty is going to be. And even when their positioning is like, just a reveal, do not go for gangs directly, but look at Jazz though.
One more fight has come here, and look at that. Hayabusa going with one shadow. Okay, shadow kill on, and not getting any kill. Will be coming back into the safer zone. Got the turtle for himself, but it's kind of it's good. They know that they need to surpass the defensive as well, but look at that gliding win come up. Slaver of HP, mega kill for the Hayabusa. In the meantime, but there will be a first kill for the Forza after all those, and shut down for the Hayabusa as well. Double kill will be secured by the Forza after all. This is what she needs. She needs a redemption, and she got redemption at last.
Yeah, this is this is such an uncomfortable position for Faden to be playing in, and we do not easily see him getting shut down to the first time. But this time around, Daaku Sena are just showing him the real this, and look at that, he already got the first build. It's the glowing one to his hands. Meanwhile, for the Hayabusa though, he's got two items already: the Hunter Strike as well as the Sky Piercer, and he does have a kills. But one shut down to him, it's just gonna be nerfing down onto the stacks that he had accumulated. But onto the mid side though.
Hilda being down by the Lapu Lapu. Easy kill for the. I mean, Zohan, they're coming back in a slow way, but it's a good thing. I mean, they were being outplayed again and again from the beginning, but right now, having some patience, having some defensive skills, they are back into the game. But how many times they will be sustaining it? Let's see. Turtle being on. Debbie, whom do you think gonna have this for Turtle?
I don't think Zohan are trying to contest it either way, but if Family Problem does have a way to try to give out vision and go for the set, they might actually go for it.
The turtle dance on. Turtle Slayer. Hayabusa being the one. Grab being on right now. AOG comes up. It will be Hayabusa getting the Lapu being there. A lot of damage. Kadita right now find the first but a sliver of HP. She will be managed to get back. No, it's a Roger who will be taken down. Feather Airstrike come up, dealing a lot of damage from the back line. Zaman Force being on. Harith into the scene. Sliver of HP managed to get back into the safer zone. Kadita to our way towards the base. Ruby right now being into the scene, giving a lot of CC towards the glue. In the meantime, we can see dive into those three members of Daaku Sena. Lapu right now capturing onto that glue. Will he manage to get him down? Let's see. It will be Forza having a killing spree. Yogi Shadow Kill comes up. It's a dive in charge coming from the Hayabusa, going back with the Quad Shadow. Will be dismantling themselves from the fight. Great one. Trade being won by Zohunt, I can say.
Yep, but they did lose out on the turtle, and I think this has to be an equalizer right there. But onto the mid side, again.
Yeah, Feather Airstrike again and again. This time the Forza is angry. After all those outplays you did with her, she's not a Layla. So she has come back with that rage right now and giving that heart say, but AOG, oh my goodness, Squad Shadow come up. Had a beautiful time. That's what I mean. It's a cat maybe having that reflex.
Yeah. Okay, I see though. It might be something that's here. Look at that.
Oh my goodness, they are giving any moment, no
Wow.
moment for the Zohunt. Ogi Shadow Kill will be the one taking out Roger from the map. Zaman Force come up, Ruby being there. She'll be captured easily. It will be Harith getting a kill onto the Ruby. Lapu needs to back off at this point. Blue buff will not be secured for Zohunt.
Yeah, this is gonna be a deny, another one for that's already for Dusty Mizo, and he's not gonna be having the best time. Meanwhile, for the mid lane though.
Look at the position of the Forza, but we'll be finding her and she will be playing away beautifully. Zaman Force being on, stun coming up from the side of Zohunt, but it will be a gliding win, saving up that Harith, and she will be managing to hit down with the, damage onto the Forza easily. Lord being on. Debbie, whom do you think gonna have this Lord?
Yeah, I think this is uncontestable for the side of Zohunt, but if they do contest it, they might be losing out again, because looking at the level differences for them, the Hayabusa is actually level 12 already and Rosa is still on to level 11, so they might not try to contest it, but do they?
Blue is playing a bigger role in this match, you can say, standing in front of the sustain wall as a sustain wall, and Matilda being the one, the savior of this match. Perfect lineup. You can say Hayabusa is nerfed, but managing to get the kills because of the lineup. They literally played with the draft, we can say. At this point, again, the fight being on. Ogi Shadow Kill, this time onto a crib. In the meantime, tier 3 will be falling down. It will be the Harith. A lot of resources got burned down. Circling Eagles come up this time, hunching onto the Gthotkacha. In the meantime, we can see Harith coming back. AOG, perfect one. 3-man got down in the AOG. This time they are diving onto the Daaku Sena. Feather Airstrike cancelled out. In the meantime, Roger being in the backline. Ruby is the one getting the kill onto the hand, onto that Hayabusa Slaver of HP. Managed to get back. Roger chasing down that Kadita. Will be finding his way to get the kill into his hand. Right now, Matilda being charged by the Roger. Roger will be taken down by the Matilda. What a Uno reverse move coming out from the side of Daaku Sena. A lot of skirmish even. No, it's a Lord being open right now with bunglers down.
We saw that. We saw that. I'm offended, but we're not gonna be saying anything about that, because Zohunt actually successful in trying to stop Daaku Sena from taking this lore, but how long? Zaman Force?
The Monforce come up. It will be the Circling Eagle. AOG for the save. Grabbing on right now. That will not be enough to take down any member of Zohunt at this point. Feather West right with the flicker comes
Oh.
up. A lot of damage onto the glue. Needs to come back. Needs to go back into the safer zone. Gliding win was heavenly choice for the glue at that point.
Yeah, I think it's always the guiding wind that just saves any member of Daaku Sena from overstaying or from getting killed down, and this has to be a big problem for Zohan because they are heavily positioned to try to go for the backlines as well. But then again, when they have a lot of seal onto the Matilda, that it's just gonna be so hard. Even if you try to go back, you're gonna be going way back, and when you have to try to have a comeback, it's just you're gonna be caught dead into the midst of it all. So this is the problem with the composition that Johan already built. But the thing is, Daaku Sena, they do not usually have that way to try to be aggressive. But look at that, with that.
One more time, we're gonna see a fight coming off. First Saw will be the one. This time, Glue at a sliver of HP managed to escape. But they got a kill into their hand. It's a good one. Emraj being down at this point. Diamond Force come up, but look at that. Zohunt coming back online into the match. And they maybe get the Lord this time into their hand, but a beautiful fight over there. Lapu needs to get back into the safer zone. Doesn't want to get down by that Harris, but look at that. Slowly, Daaku Sena immobilizing. Lord will be taken on by the Roger. Diamond Force being on. 3-man grab on over there. AOG coming up. Killing spree for the Harris onto the Roger. Slaver of HP. Lapu being into the charge, but Hayabusa with the Quad Shadow. And the Oogie Shadow kill onto the Lapu. Lot of damage. Look at that. It will be a skirmish event. Kadita will be the one getting a double kill onto the Katotkacha as well as the Ruby. 3-man down already from the side of Zohunt with the Lord being taken into their side. But it's kind of trade being won, I can say, from Daaku Sena.
I think Daaku Sena just ruined that, but it has to be the Lord that stopped them from even moving further into this game. But then again, it was a lot of fight for these teams. Both of these teams are just trying to go brawl it out, showing their hands, showing their face hand in hand. And yeah, already a defensive build coming through for Lapu as well as the glue though. So this is definitely going to be a long team fight that are going to be doing already the Holy Crystal. But look at the bravest fighter again.
Oh, I mean, this is when Mizo is going against that. Come on, far side, a very bad position. Will be cut off guard by the Hayabusa. Grabbing on. Lord is coming up, but it will be Lapu getting down at that point. Diamond Force will be used, defending the Lord down in the top lane. We can see the minions marching down and the split pushing. Notorious act from the Roger going on. He'll be getting that tier 3 in the mid, maybe the second tier in the top will be getting down as well. But in the meantime, we can see Gatot Kasha managed to take down the Hayabusa after all those tricky he did onto the first he needs to be get down.
Yeah, he needs to be taken down, and this has to be the only the only compensation. But so far, the Monforce, it's just used to try to zone him away. But you know, this Harry is gonna be hurting quite a lot because he's already gotten 3 core items that he's deemed it necessary. And yeah, but that's the 4th item is definitely gonna go for the Divine Glaive. So the frontliners here for the side of German are not going to be having the best time trying to stunt out, trying to soak out the damage coming through, as well as the true damage for the Harris. So they have to be really, really careful. And I think the only late game that they have has to be the Roser. But there's a problem though.
Yeah, right now getting into the hand. Ruby will be taken down once again. It's a killing spree. And in the meantime, Glue was diving onto that windmill. Okay, look at that. The Harith doesn't want to stay back. He wants to go AOG for the gliding wind. Come up. Roger needs to back off. They will be getting the tier 2. Maybe inhibitor on the way, but Feather Airstrike was the one clearing out the minions at this point. Was Shadow being connected? Oogie Shadow on. 4-man there. Hypesa needs to go back into the safer zone. For the sake of his life, he will be spared.
I think that's such a good decision making coming out from Daaku Sena here, because the thing is, the more they try to stay in team fights, the more they are actually winning, because just because of the presence of the Matilda, they are not usually executed very easily. So that has to be the problem. But win here though.
Heaven needs to scare at this point. Second tier in the bot lane will be taken down. Lord being on. Let's see who'll be having their hand on this. But Feather Airstrike coming up at a very bad position. Gatot Kacha is right now holding up on the way. Will not be able to use any AOG for the save. Make a kill for the Harith. Last he got the man. And with this, we can see no more frontliners being there for Zohunt, only Lapu Lapu being there. I don't think they'll be contesting this lot, but
Yeah.
maybe coming on, retrieving on. Let's see how it goes.
There has to be something here because the glue with split split though.
They're not giving any chance to that Roger to come up to the Lord. Glue will be the one. Grab onto the Lapu, and Lapu will be dead as well. Kadita going on. Petri being on. Will be busting
Oh,
out that Mizo, but he will be fine. Oh, no, 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 no,
oh.
no. Harith was there. Harith was there. Need to be cleared out that he is the one taking down the Ruby at this point.
And I think the more Zohan try to stay in team fights, the more they're gonna be giving away a lot of kills here and there. And the problem is that even if they don't try to go for fights and try to lengthen this game, it's gonna be a little bit harder than it was into the first few minutes because this is a scaling Harry that we are talking about, and he scales much better than the Rosa 2 here. But look at the dive though.
Ooh, gliding wind, what a beautiful way! Examine Force come up, Lord Inhibitors into the Inhibitor, diving into the charge right now. Gatotkata being held up by 4 members. Let's see how it goes. They managed to get the Inhibitor, and they managed to another Inhibitor as well. Monster kill for the Harith onto the Lapu Lapu. Get back into the safer zone. Glue will be taken down. 1-for-1 trade going on. Still not okay. Harith is diving into the wave, giving a lot of damage. Will be getting back Forza. Right now, let's see how it goes. They managed to defend the way, but Forza being alone is not a good thing. Look at that. What going on? Hayabusa going on to the Forza 1v1, and Hayabusa will be getting the kill. This is why I'm telling she shouldn't be. Stay alone. Hayabusa is marking onto her. A very blunder mistake, you can say, because minions marching into the base, maybe locking down the base at this point. Nobody is there to clearing up. AOG coming up, capturing one member. Harith will be fine. He'll be going back with the absorb being on to his side. Managed to defend the base though.
Yeah, this is I think the guiding wind has to be the MVP for this game because most of the time when there's a little bit of a catch up coming out from Johan, there is always a guiding wind coming out from Haitatsu that's always saving his members time and again. And they haven't been actually out positioned most of the time. Even if they were caught up into the CCs, the guiding wind is always there to provide aid and full build already for Mr. Benny Valentine here. Very funnily enough, he's got the lantern in order to deal so much amount of damage into this tanky frontliners that Zohan have had, and this has to be a big problem for them now. And always getting solo kill by the Hayabusa Faden is not having the best time just trying to get anything here. But look at that though.
Smash is going deep. Quad Shadow being used. Let's see if we can manage to escape. No, it's the Kasha and 4 members making that sure that Hayabusa will be onto the heaven side. In the meantime, Ruby got down by the Harith. Harith coming up right now. Will be getting onto his hand on that Gatotkacha and managed to get down the Roger. Glue in the scene. 2-man down at this point and a very bad position. Will be getting onto the Lapu Lapu. Forza got melted down by Harith. Legendary exemption from that Harith. Shutdown coming off from Gatotkacha at this point. What a movement. Grabbing on Slaver of HP. Lapu wants to defend the base. Minions marching onto the base. Add 2 of them at a Slaver of HP. They will be locking the base. Crystal will be up. Daaku Sena will be the one getting a first point in this BO3 series between Zohunt.
That was such a good game coming out from Daaku Sena here. And Mr. MVP of this game is Funny Valentine, obviously. But I would surely give it to Haitatsu. But it was such a good momentum, no throw whatsoever coming out from Daaku Sena.
Hello, Hostami, are you here?
I am
Ustami.
here. Yeah, I am here.
Hostami, just
And
look
yep,
at the KTA 4-1-2-3. I mean 4-1-23. Haitatsu just took the game. Haitatsu, you can say.
Haitatsu.
definitely. Hi, Tatsu was quite high on that Matilda flying around. But anyways, we are back onto the casting decks, and yep, Zohunt, they went out with, let's say, utility kind of a draft, but still they didn't had a healer for their side. So maybe
Yeah.
if they have a healer, then maybe they would have been able to sustain a lot onto those team fights. But for this game, it didn't happen, and Daaku Sena, they made full use of their early game
Mhm.
advantage because of the Hayabusa. So assassins are